Hagan van Malawan and Mr. Lubovsky, but while we are switching to virtual, I guess we have to keep the panel here. Okay, so we'll switch to virtual now. Hagan van Malawan and Mr. Lubovsky, or Mr. Lubovsky, you may proceed. We can't hear Mr. Lubovsky. We can't hear you. Hold on 1 minute.
How's this?
Okay. Can you please start again?
Yes.
State your name for the record. Thank
you. Yes, I'm sorry about that. My name is David Lubovsky. Can you hear me okay, Senators? Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you, Senators, for allowing me to give testimony in support of our bill, in support of Bill 11236. I have this whole thing written out, but I just got derailed when I heard Dr. Marion, the last doctor, refer to victims as weeds. In her little story, victims are not weeds. Victims are our loved ones. They're our mothers. They're our children. Asha is not a weed. That was a total insult, and she sort of brings it all together for me. That was a very inappropriate thing to say, and I had to start my testimony off. We are not weeds. Victims are not weeds. Silence is not golden unless you are a Guam doctor. I arrived initially on Guam in 1974. Over the years, I have worked at many agencies, Project Help, Sanctuary, Child Protective Services, Adult Protective Services, Gumamami, Goodwill Industries. I work with the VA, with the disabled veterans. I worked as a psychologist with the Department of Education, family therapist, and I'm very proud to say I'm a University of Guam graduate. My whole life, I have worked with the most disadvantaged individuals of all ages, with disabilities, economic hardships, homeless, victims of abuse, runaways, kids with behavior or educational issues. This is what separates me from everyone else giving testimony today who want to keep the status quo. I am not an outsider. I have no personal agenda except to protect the people of Guam and to improve healthcare. I have advocated for others my whole life without regard to my own personal or financial needs to help people get help to survive and to succeed. And as importantly, to have a voice to be heard on Guam. I never thought I would be here again advocating for something like this. We have heard it over and over from doctors' testimony in their public media postings, how much they spent on medical school, malpractice, and all that. This is what separates the people I speak of and those who make this about their financial needs under the guise of medical care. The people I speak of and who I am here for today struggle just to get by on a daily basis. Their struggles are very real and much more important, in my opinion, than anyone who discusses medical school or how much they must spend on malpractice insurance. Living on Guam and working with the people on Guam as I have done, especially the Manamco, I have culturally and every other way learned that people are often too embarrassed to write testimony or come forth to meetings like this, or even to challenge doctors when a loved one dies from alleged medical negligence. Family members will even tell the victims, oh, no, do not speak up. Just drop it, forget about it. Do not embarrass us. Our doctors are always right. The victims are told, oh, please don't make us mamalo. It's a Guam cultural historical perspective that I have learned long ago, even when investigating abuse, child abuse at CPS and so forth. Families do not want it public. This is a big part of the reason it took 30 years to get this issue of prejudice and discrimination caused by the Arbitration Act to be brought to light. It has been 30 years of silencing those who have been killed or injured by medical negligence. Silence is golden for medical personnel who have benefited from this law financially for 30 years. The mother of the child who died from alleged medical negligence at Guam Regional Medical City, a horrible story, told me she wants to speak out about the alleged negligence, but has been advised not to do so by family members. It's exceedingly difficult to talk about a child or loved one who has died. In any case, trust me, it's really difficult. But when told by family members or others not to speak, it becomes more painful. And this is part of the reality of a lot of the victims and the victims' family. They don't speak out. So life goes on. The doctors keep the status quo. I'm here today to speak also for victims. Baby Faith, Joaquin, Charles, Aiden, Asha, Mr. Lagrimas. By the way, none of those people are weeds. And hundreds of others, or even thousands that have been injured or killed by medical negligence on Guam over the years, with no recourse to have their cases heard. And I did use the term alleged, because under arbitration, you can't go anywhere. Alleged means nothing. Silence is not golden today for these people, many being children. And as I speak their names, and I hope that you hear them, there's also a petition of about 3,800, last time I looked, people who have asked to change this law, the arbitration law, and repeal it. Please read the petition and please read their comments. It's not just about the people in the room. There's thousands of people out there. Look at those that are writing testimony to keep the discriminatory, and it is discriminatory, arbitration, silencing law, or death law, which I call it, and look at the majority who have spoken that they should be exempt. Yes, exempt from negligent killing or injuring us. That's what the testimony today is about. Guam does have great doctors. Well, I can test that. I have great doctors. Guam has great doctors. Always have. And this is not about great doctors. These doctors have voices, loud and clear. But we must remember those that do not have voices, who feel a lack of power to speak up. And each one of you senators know people like that. You know people don't want to speak up. They're embarrassed. You all know what I'm speaking about. Those are the people you must consider. Bill 112 is about giving all the people of Guam a voice and protecting doctors from frivolous lawsuits at the same time. The sad reality is that the resistance against Bill 112 is about the bottom line of physicians, not Guam healthcare in most cases, and for sure not about patient rights, and not about identifying doctors who repeatedly have committed medical negligence. If this was just a public debate about the law and benefits of the law, you would not have physicians threatening senators, threatening the public, writing FOIAs to try to get dirt on senators because they don't like a public debate and a law. When people start doing that, it's not about the public law. It's not about whether it's good or bad for Guam medically. It's about revenge. You senators receive FOIAs, that's a revenge tactic to try to find dirt on you so this bill doesn't go forward. In my opinion, that makes it personal for the people who write it. And that was written by the Guam Medical Association. Also, Dr. Blount, addressing the Guam Medical Society in a recent communication, he told them, this will impact us financially. That was his message to them. It's in black and white. Dr. Teresa Underwood, during the last information hearings we had during the 35th legislature, she spent her whole testimony discussing her bottom line and how hard it is to get paid on Guam, to make money, and so forth. Interesting, neither doctor and none of the doctors on Guam that I've heard of, and few even discussed it tonight, ever discussed patient rights or what to do about medical negligence, as if they do not care. The needs are put first. Even when they discussing the idea about we should all get together, they talked about the lawyers, they talked about the doctors, they talked about the senators, but not one of them wanted to include the weeds. Oh, I'm sorry, the victims in the discussion about how to make the law better. The weeds are left out. With all that said, let's be clear. In my opinion, Bill 112 is not about malpractice. And it's not about poor people who cannot afford arbitration. And for sure, it's not about my son, Asher. It is about a fair system for all medical consumers on Guam to be able to have their claims heard, to protect their rights, to improve medical care, and at the same time to protect the medical community against frivolous lawsuits. I don't know anyone, including and especially me, that wants to see a doctor sued. No. But how do we identify the doctors who commit medical negligence? Medical negligence is stated to be the third leading cause of death in the USA. It must be the same in Guam. Statistically, based on national stats, it's estimated that 10 die per month on Guam. 10 die per month on Guam due to medical negligence. It's the silent killer that Guam doctors want to keep silent. It's also estimated that 1% of doctors commit 32% of malpractice. These doctors are not identified in Guam due to the current law. A doctor in Guam can kill your child for negligence before lunch and be back to work after he eats his sandwich, and no one knows or will ever know. Actually, that doctor can kill 2 or 3 people for medical negligence, and no one ever knows. Guam is the only place in the USA or the free world that affords this kind of cover-up or protection. Malpractice is a serial injury event. It repeats itself. Bill 112 will help to identify these doctors once and for all to improve medical care while protecting the people of Guam, the people that I'm concerned about, you're concerned about, and those that do not have voices. The untrue and sad part is that we keep hearing that Guam will not be able to get doctors if Bill 112 becomes law. This is absolutely ridiculous. This is absolutely not true. No one has shown statistics or recruiting issues to back this up. And actually, Dr. Shea himself said, we have plenty of doctors on Guam. The problem is getting specialists. And it's always been a problem to get specialists, and it probably always will be getting a specialist. Dr. Shea said a few years ago, we don't need doctors on Guam. What is true is that doctors come to Guam now. What is true is that doctors come to Guam now with histories of medical negligence or sexual misconduct and easily get licensed here, as they know they can work here without malpractice insurance, without concerns, and possibly cannot work anywhere else in the States. The Guam Board of Medical Examiners, and I've argued about this and I've had this discussion, and they are in court now related to this. The Guam Board of Medical Examiners continues to license people with such histories. Do we want doctors from off island to come here and hurt or kill us or sexual misconduct with the same histories elsewhere? That's what the arbitration law allows. That's exactly what we have now. Bill 112 will protect the people of Guam by identifying these doctors rather than hiding them, as is the case now. It will protect all of us and give a voice to the most disadvantaged on Guam, as well as just the average person. Let's finally tell the community that silence is not golden and they have a voice. One question before, I'm sorry for going on so long. One question. I'll end by asking one question. Would you pass Bill 11236 if you knew it would save a child's life or a loved one's life or several lives on Guam? Well, this bill, if law, I say, would have saved baby Faith's life at Guam Regional Medical City. I say it may have saved Asher's life, and for sure it would have saved others as well. And if it didn't save their lives, it would have identified the doctors or others before they went off to do the same tragic, negligent mistakes with others. This bill is about saving lives, not saving money for doctors. It's not passing this bill means we have to sacrifice our loved ones on Guam, and there's clear statistics that support this. I do not want to see anyone go through the hell that I went through, or that anyone else went, or that baby Faiths went through. This bill will identify negligent doctors, it will improve health care, and will give equity to all the people of Guam, white coats and not. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Mr. Lebowski. And I want to thank everyone. Pardon? I want to thank everyone who's been waiting very patiently, and I know they're getting impatient, and I don't blame them. It's been a long night. And so I'm going to ask my colleagues if they have questions for this panel. Senator Perez?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. So I'm listening very closely and taking notes of all the testimonies thus far. And I'm also very interested in, consensus building. And, I'm thinking about, I guess, the idea of self-regulating, right? Self-regulation of the medical field. If any of the panel has any ideas, I know I heard ideas about going back to the Health Licensing Board, having the claims heard there. And, being that, there's some issues with that too as well, where, we're such a small community, it's very difficult to find perhaps expertise to objectively process claims. So I'm